with very strong people. The choice in 220 is very simple. Do you want to bow before the left-wing mob, or do you want to stand up tall and proud as Americans? And explain this to the NFL. I like the NFL. I like Roger Goodell, but I didn't like what he said a week ago. I said, where did that come from in the middle of the summer? Nobody's even asking. We will never kneel to our national anthem or our great American flag. We will stand proud and we will stand tall. I thought we won that battle with the NFL. Their stadiums were emptying out. Did you see those stadiums? It took them a long time to get you back. A lot of people didn't like that. You know, a lot of people that you wouldn't even think would care that much. I've had people that I said, these are super left liberals, and they didn't like it. Joe Biden and the Democrats want to prosecute Americans for going to church, but not for burning a church. They believe you can riot, vandalize, and destroy, but you cannot attend a peaceful pro-America rally. They want to punish your thought, but not their violent crimes. They want to abolish bail, abolish and open up your borders. They want open borders, let everyone, and by the way, we're doing so well. We have a record this month on the borders. Nobody's coming in. Very few people. And they want to abolish ICE, our great people from ICE who send the roughest, toughest, meanest people that you've ever seen or ever heard. Generally speaking, when they have lots of tattoos on their face, they're not looking to do you much help. ICE, they're rough guys, they're rough, they're great Americans, they love, but they'll walk into, they call them a pack. They'll walk into a pack. Of tough MS-13 gang members. And you know, we shouldn't say this, it's not nice. They want us to negotiate. They start swinging, and the others start swinging. Everybody's swinging. At the end, they carry them back and they throw them into the paddy wagon, right? They're great. And these people want to get rid of ICE. They get rid of murderers. They get rid of rapists. They get rid of the worst scum on earth. And when I called them animals, I said they're animals. And Nancy Pelosi, they cut up a young woman. They cut up a young woman and her friend. Cut him up with a knife because it was more painful, dead. Cut him up with a knife because it's more painful, takes longer than shooting a gun. They cut him up. I said, these are animals. And Nancy Pelosi said, these are human beings, they're not animals. If I lose an election over that, you know what? This country's in big trouble. Big trouble. They want to disarm law-abiding citizens and dismantle our police forces while freeing vicious MS-13 gang members. In Joe Biden's America, rioters, looters, and criminal aliens have more rights than law-abiding citizens, and that's true. In my administration, we defend American citizens, and we deport MS-13 members. or put them in jail if we have to. The chaos you're seeing in our Democratic-run cities, these are all run by the Democrats, is what will happen in every city and community in America, and much, much worse if we don't keep them out. We have to do this. We have to go to the polls on November 3rd, and the rest, you know what to do. You know what to do. Got to keep the White House. Joe Biden's record can be summed up as 4 decades of betrayal, calamity, and failure. He never did anything. He was a senator. He was a vice president. He was before that something. Guy, you know what's great? President Trump was tough on this, or he was tough. They complained. Never did anything about it. He's been there for 43 years or 47 years. He never did anything about it. Biden supported every globalist attack on the American worker. Let's make every country in the world rich but ourselves, including NAFTA, the disaster of NAFTA. He wanted to go, and TPP would have ruined our automobile industry. Korea, I renegotiated the deal. I took a horrible deal. That was a Hillary Clinton special. That was a Hillary Clinton special. She said, we have to make this deal with South Korea. It's going to mean 250,000 jobs. And she was right for South Korea, 250,000 jobs. And China's entry into the World Trade Organization was supported by Sleepy Joe Biden. That was one of the worst deals economically in the history of our country. When China joined the World Trade Organization, they were flatlined for decades. They became like a rocket ship. He voted for the war in Iraq. He voted for mass amnesty for illegal aliens. He supports sanctuary cities, and now Biden wants to end immigration enforcement and he wants to require you to provide free health care for millions and millions of illegal aliens, okay? When I took early and decisive action to ban travel from China and protect Americans from the virus, and as I said, Joe Biden opposed my decision and called it hysteria, xenophobia. He doesn't know what the word means, xenophobia, and fear-mongering. And then he apologized a month later. He said he was wrong, but he didn't say it. And they didn't cover it. They didn't cover it. On one of the single most important policy decisions of our lifetime, Joe Biden sided with China over America. That's closing the border. He thought it was a terrible thing. Remember, this was in January. That's early, real early, the end of January. He thought it was a terrible thing when we closed the border to many people that were badly infected with COVID. When the chips are down, Biden will always cave to the radical left. He'll always bow to the angry mob, and he will never protect you or your family, and you know that. Joe Biden will always let you down. That's been his history. At my direction early this year, the heroes of the U.S. military took out the world's top terrorist, the savage killer and leader of ISIS, al-Baghdadi, and the #1 terrorist anywhere in the world, Qasem Soleimani. We took him out. Joe Biden opposed killing Soleimani. He was vehemently, we killed this #1 terrorist. He didn't like it. You know why he didn't like it? Because he thought it would be good politically. That didn't work out too well. Just as he opposed the raid that killed Osama bin Laden. He opposed it. You know that. Biden is always on the wrong side of history, as said by people that are with him and worked with him. He never made a correct foreign policy decision. Biden is a puppet for China. Son walked out with $1.5 billion. I think it's a little bit. Allowing them to rip off America for many years. Now they're paying us billions and billions of dollars. We give a lot of it to our farmers. We have plenty left over. China's not exactly happy with me. Billions. They pay us billions and billions of dollars, and they targeted our great farmers. And I took the money that they targeted. I took that money and I gave it to the farmers, so they were even. So they're okay. Are you okay? Come. Doctor, please. Doctor. Thank you. These people, I mean, some of the people are waiting for 5 days, especially in this location, right? You take your time, darling. Take your time. Thank you very much. Take your time. Doctor, thank you, doctor. Thank you. Thank you. Now, some people wait for 4 or 5 days. It's incredible. He never did anything against China, Joe Biden. And that's why they desperately want him to win. They want him to win so badly. Iran wants him to win so badly. Let me tell you, I'm going to make a very fast deal, the best deal you've ever seen. I've already made one with China, but I can make even more. They want me to lose because they will own the United States if I lose. Iran. President Obama gave them $150 billion for nothing. And almost more incredibly, he gave them $1.8 billion in green cash, beautiful cash. And now they're not doing so well, are they? They're not doing so well. Someday we're going to get credit for this, someday. But they are waiting. Iran wants to make a deal so badly. But they're told by Kerry and all these other, they shouldn't, the Logan Act. But they're told by Kerry and all these people, wait, because if Trump loses, you'll own America. You're going to own it. They'll say you own it. So I don't mind. I told them, we can wait. But when I win, you're going to pay a much higher price than if you made a deal now. It's true. True. Told them. I told them. And look what happened to Biden in Ukraine, where his son's paid $83,000 a month and he was jobless. Give me a break. $83,000 a month, more than anybody. If Joe Biden were to become president, an emboldened left will launch a full-scale assault on American life. You know that. They'll expel anyone who disagrees with them. Look what happens when you disagree. You use a term that's perfect and they're not happy with it. They call you a racist. They call you a horrible person. They want to crush religious liberty. They don't want religion. Silence religious believers. Indoctrinate your children with hateful and vicious lies about our country. Subsidize late-term abortion and after-birth execution. They want to take away your guns through the repeal of your Second Amendment, as sure as you're sitting there. In fact, he even put the big gun grabber, Beto O'Rourke, who made a fool out of himself when he ran for president. They put him in charge of guns. Lots of luck on your Second Amendment. Just remember I said it. Hopefully you won't have to think back about it too much, because it won't matter. Hopefully it won't matter. No, Beto O'Rourke, who wants to give up guns, is in charge of the Second Amendment. The Dems will also eliminate private health insurance, ban fracking, that's not good, and American energy will be in a position of weakness like it's never been before, and that's after we built the greatest energy country anywhere in the world by far. And they want to appoint Supreme Court justices who will utterly obliterate your Constitution. And you now see how important the Supreme Court is. Think if we didn't have two justices that I think have been very, very, very good. But think how important it is. Think how important it is. And we still, I guess it's, I don't know if it's an equal court. It's almost like we're a minority court, right? It's almost like we're a minority court. The recent Supreme Court cases prove that if Joe Biden is elected, he will stack the court with extremists and the forgotten men and women. Together with everyone else, we'll lose everything. The forgotten men and women. I campaigned on the forgotten. These are great people. These are substantial people. These are the elite. By the way, you're the elite. They're not the elite. You're the elite. I said, somebody 2 days ago said, sir, the elite are really working hard on trying to destroy you. I said, yeah. Why do you call them the elite? I said, why? Well, they're not elite. I look better than them. Much more handsome. Got better hair than they do. I got nicer properties. I got nicer houses. I got nicer apartments. I got nicer everything. I ran for politics once, just once in my life, and I became president of the United States. Once. This one. And hopefully, if you get out and vote, we'll do it one more time. We won't even toy with them about 3 or 4 more times. We won't. We'll do it one more time. We'll be 2 for 2, and our country will never, ever be stronger. But I'll be soon announcing a new list of exceptional candidates for the United States Supreme Court. And I'll choose only from that list 100%, probably 25 incredible people, any one of which could be a great justice, any one of which. And I did it last time, and people loved when I did it. And I'll only pick from that list. Biden can't release his list because the names would be too extreme, too radical. They wouldn't be acceptable, but they will be very radical people. People don't understand, but we actually won on DACA yesterday. We actually won because they basically said, you won, but you have to come back and redo it. It's almost like, gee, come on back. Your paperwork was no good. But we're going to be refiling, but don't let it get you. Everything's going to work out really good. Everything's going to work out good. It was great. I mean, it would have been nice if we won it. Everybody said, oh, you're going to win DACA. You're going to win DACA. That's easy. You got to win DACA. That's easy. They all said it. And they came back and they said, we don't like what you did with your paperwork, essentially, right? So we're refiling it. Most people would say, oh, we lost. We didn't lose. We're going to refile it. And everything is going to work out for the young people, most of whom aren't so young anymore, by the way. But we're going to work it out for everybody. Biden is fully controlled by the fringe of his party. He is their pawn. He doesn't even know where the hell he is, let's face it. He installed socialists, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, to be in charge of his environmental policy and his energy. You can forget petroleum. How does Oklahoma feel about being petroleum-free? Not good, right? Our country will have no energy. Our country will have nothing. Oklahoma, Texas, North Dakota, and many others will all be out of business. I don't think that's going to work out too well, but she's actually in charge of environmental policy. And you know what that means. She doesn't even want wind. She doesn't want those bird-killing machines to go round and round. You want to see a lot of birds that are dead, go under a windmill sometime. She wants us to go back to the Stone Ages because she's got no sense, no credentials. She's got a little charisma, not much, but she doesn't have a clue. You know it. But she's in charge of the environment. No airplanes. We can forget Boeing, I guess, come to think of it, right? We talked about Boeing. We could forget Boeing. Let's cancel those brand new Air Force Ones, right? Likewise, Representative Ilhan Omar. Ilhan Omar is going to be very much involved in a Biden government. They will put this hate-filled, America-bashing socialist front and center in deciding the fate of your family and deciding the fate of your country. I don't think so. She would like to make the government of our country just like the country from where she came, Somalia. No government, no safety, no police, no nothing, just anarchy. And now she's telling us how to run our country. No, thank you. And I think we're going to have a big victory in the state of Minnesota because they've had it. They've had it. Biden is a very willing Trojan horse for socialism. When Biden first ran for president over 33 years ago, remember I used to call him 1% Joe. He never got more than 1%. Until Obama took him off the trash heap. But he blatantly copied the speech of a British politician, even ripping off the man's personal biography and family history and claiming it was his own. He forgot to say he was born in America. Joe Biden is a shameless hypocrite. Since 2003, he has delivered fawning eulogies to the funeral and at those funerals of three leading supporters of segregation, including a former member of the KKK. And yet Biden is now smearing as racist tens of millions of people like yourselves, decent, hardworking Americans who he's never met, and he frankly probably doesn't want to meet. America should not take lectures on racial justice from Joe Biden, Sleepy Joe. A man who praised and partnered with segregationists, shipped millions of Black American jobs overseas and everyone else's jobs too, by the way. If I didn't come along, we're building auto plants, we're building everything. And there's never been a comeback like we're making right now. Never been. He hollowed out our middle class, including our Black middle class, with open borders, trapped young children in failing government schools, built cages. Those cages were built by Obama and Biden. Look it up, 2014. And the fake news doesn't want to remember the picture of a cage for children. Remember the picture of the cage? And they said, President Trump. And then they realized that was in a newspaper, 2014, the same, built by Obama and Biden, the cages. And they don't want to report the way it is. They know the way it is. They're not stupid. They sent young boys to fight in Iraq while the inner cities crumbled, helped the big banks while hammering community leaders, and made our cities less safe and secure for all. They've done a terrible job, and they shouldn't be awarded. They should not get rewarded with an election victory on November 3rd. That shouldn't happen. It'll destroy this country. Our country will be destroyed. We've all worked too hard. They don't know what the hell they're doing. Some do, actually, but in a very sinister way. Virtually every policy that has hurt Black Americans for half a century, Joe Biden has supported or enacted. I've done more for the Black community in 4 years than Joe Biden has done in 47 years. Racial justice begins with Joe Biden's retirement from public life. We are joined tonight by many outstanding Republican leaders. These are great people. We have two of our most distinguished, hardworking, wonderful friends, senators. They do a great job. Senator Jim Inhofe and James Lankford, please stand up. Two very respected, I will tell you, two very respected people in Washington. They're respected by everybody. They do some job, and I'd have you come up, but you can relax. I will say this. Jim is running on November 3rd. Jim Inhofe. He's running on November 3rd. I don't even know. Does he? Hey, James, does he have any competition? Is somebody actually running against? There's no competition that he's got. I know he's got James's support. He's got my support. I give him 100% endorsement. Jim Inhofe. I give it to James too, but he's not running this time. Thank you, Jim. Great job. Thank you very much. What a great senator he is. Also here, there's a man who's respected by so many. He's a little bit right of the people we've been talking about tonight. Senator Tom Cotton of the great state of Arkansas. Thank you, Tom. They like you people. Thank you, Tom. Great job you're doing. We're glad to be joined as well by a man that I've gotten to know. He's done an incredible job with COVID and with everything else he touches. Governor Kevin Stitt. Thank you both. Thank you both for being here. Thank you. Lieutenant Governor Matt Pinnell. Thanks, Matt. Thanks, Matt. And Representatives Frank Lucas, Tom Cole. He's been here for a little while. He's done an incredible job. Mark Wayne Mullen. You don't want to fight with him. I want to put him and Jim Jordan in a match together. I want to. Kevin Hearn. Great job today, Kevin. The great Jim Jordan. Jim Jordan. Elise Stefanak. Lee Zeldin. Tom Emmer. Tom, thank you. These are warriors, folks. These are great warriors. During the fake impeachment trial, I'll tell you what, there was nobody that could have done the job they've done. That includes the Senate and the House. These people are incredible. David Kutzoff. David. A great friend of mine, Debbie Lesko, Arizona. Great job, Debbie. Great job. And a man who's got very good genes, Greg Pence. Thank you all. Great job. They're great people. They are. They're warriors. I'll tell you what. Not every person is, but this group is, and we have a lot of them in Washington. And we'll send Jim Inhofe back. And we'll send all of them. You'll send every one of them. They have to come back because they have been fighting for us, and they've been fighting for you. and they are just incredible, talented, tough, strong people that love your state a lot. So thank you very much. So we built the greatest single economy in the world. And then we say, not only the world, but actually in the history of the world, and they never even challenged me, so I guess I'm right. We did it. We had the best numbers anybody's ever had. We had the best employment numbers. African American, Hispanic American, Asian American. The best employment numbers in history. The best stock market numbers in history. We were the envy of the world. Everybody would come in to see me. Presidents, prime minister, kings, queens, and dictators. Dictators would even come in and say, congratulations on the economy. And then the plague came in. And now what we're doing is we're doing it again, and it's going fast. We have to have a lot of it done because people don't quite get it. We're doing record business. It's happening at a level and a speed that nobody can believe. 2 weeks ago, job numbers came in. The single biggest number in the history of our country. Last week, retail sales numbers came in. Retail sales, the single greatest number in the history of our country. So here's what's going to happen. Here's what's going to happen. They blame a president for anything. When you see looters, even though we put them down, if we didn't stop them, nobody would, because the other side will never stop them. But they always blame a president. Here's what's happening. We're going up, we're going up, we're going up, we're going to go up. Then we're going to hit October. We're going to be up. We're going to be way up. We're not going to be where we were, but in many ways, other than all of the horrible, horrible death that was so needlessly caused by a virus that should have been stopped where it originated, which was China. But we're going to go up, 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 August, September, October. And people are going to say, man, this guy's doing a good job. He knows what he's doing. I don't believe the fake news anymore. And you're not going to want to lose your 401ks. And you're not going to want to lose all of that wealth that you've accumulated, whether it's real estate wealth or any wealth you can think, because it'll all come tumbling down if these people are put in charge. And if they double and triple and quadruple your taxes, it'll be a whole different ballgame. So I'm not putting any pressure on anybody. But in the end, we're going to have a phenomenal economy. And next year, we're going to have a good third quarter. But next year, and I said it before, will be the single greatest year economically that we've ever had. Okay? So. And if you see that happening, if you see it happening on November 3rd, you don't have the guts to vote against Trump. Even you don't have the guts to vote against Trump. Say, wait a minute, darling, my 401k is higher than it was the last time. I don't think I want to take a chance. You're not going to want to do that. The stock market has been the best. Think of this. Go back 1 week and go back 50 days. In that 50-day period, it's the strongest 50 days in the history of the stock market. And your wife or your husband says, darling, I love you so much. You are such a great investor. And all you did is just keep the same crap you had the first time. Right? Darling, I love you so much. You've always been a loser. You've always lost money. But now under President Trump, you're one of the greatest financial minds in our country. And all you did was keep your stock. Now, if you think you're going to run against, they're going crazy. They want the stock market to go down, even if it costs them money. They want the stock market to go down, even if it costs them money. And they don't even know why. You know what? They're smart and they're vicious, but they don't know why. I'm telling you, they don't know why. What's wrong with having the strongest military brand new in the world all built? What's wrong with having these great economic numbers? What's wrong with having to close it down? We saved millions of lives. You know, a lot of people say we should have gone herd. Let's go herd. Ask them, how are they doing in Brazil? He's a great friend of mine. Not good. You heard about Sweden, right? Too much. Ask them how they doing in Sweden. We saved millions of lives, and now it's time to open up, get back to work, okay? Get back to work. I recently signed groundbreaking criminal justice reform. I secured record and permanent funding for historically black colleges and universities. We slashed regulations and passed massive tax cuts to give black workers a pay raise like they've never, ever gotten before and lift up black-owned businesses. And I worked closely with a great senator also, friend of theirs, Senator Tim Scott, South Carolina, to create opportunity zones, which are doing incredibly. And since then, countless jobs and $100 billion of new investment, not government investment, have poured into 9,000 of our most distressed neighborhoods anywhere in the country. 9,000. Never happened before. Tim Scott. Today, I'm also announcing that I have directed Secretary of the Interior David Bernhardt to place the John Hope Franklin Reconciliation Park here in Tulsa on the African American Civil Rights Network. So many of my friends have been asking me to do that. So many of my friends, including these great politicians. So we're going to do that. It'll be done very quickly. We will forever remember and honor the courageous people who helped build this state and this country. Democrats are stoking division in order to distract from their decades of failure on schools, jobs, housing, justice, and crime. In major city public schools run by Democrats, over 2/3 of students are falling behind in reading and math, and I think the numbers are worse than that. But Democrats would rather deny these children the future they deserve than allow them to attend the charter, public, private, religious, or independent schools of their choice. Pro-choice. Pro-choice. Pro-choice for schools. It's very popular, but some people it's like a disaster because what it does to certain unions that have a lot of power over the Democrats, even though they know it's wrong. Republicans believe access to education is a civil right. It's a civil right. 20 of the most dangerous cities in America are controlled by Democrats. Think of that. 20 of 20. And so is nearly every major city with a child poverty rate that's over 30%. They're controlled by Democrats. We can name every one of them. The murder rate in Baltimore and Detroit is higher than El Salvador, Guatemala, or even Afghanistan. How are they doing, the Democrats running those cities? Your whole country will be like that. In 2018 alone, our police arrested nearly 12,000 people for murder and manslaughter, 25,000 people for rape, and nearly 1.5 million for assault, violent assault. The Democrats' push against our police will drive up crime and drive up costs at levels you'd never believe. Thousands of innocent lives will be lost. As president, I will always support the incredible men and women of law enforcement. A vote for Republicans is a vote for better schools, better jobs, safer families, and stronger communities for all Americans. There is a limit to what we can together achieve with 4 more years. With your help, we will lift millions of our citizens from welfare to work, dependence to independence, and poverty to prosperity. That's what's happening. That's what's happening. And that was happening at a level that nobody ever thought they'd see. It was happening before this COVID came in. It was happening at a level that nobody believed possible. And then China sent us the plague. Thank you very much. We will protect Medicare and Social Security for our great seniors, and will always protect patients with pre-existing conditions. Always, always. We will appoint more judges to interpret the Constitution as written. We will end deadly sanctuary cities. We will finish the wall, which has now 212 miles built and beautiful. 212 miles. That's a lot of miles. And let me tell you, you think that was an easy one? That was a tough one. That party was totally unified against building the wall. You know, in the end, they gave up. You know what happened? They realized it was a bad issue for them because these open borders, I love when they fight for open borders, because anybody that wants an open border coming in from rough areas, there's something wrong with those people. So did you notice in the end, it was like, just leave us alone, build your wall, just leave us alone. I said, thank you very much. And we will elect a Republican Congress to create a fair, safe, sane, and lawful system of immigration that puts American workers first. We will revitalize our cities, and we will build gleaming new roads, bridges, tunnels, and airports all across our land. We will enact new trade deals that result in more products proudly stamped with that beautiful phrase, made in the USA. It's so beautiful, so beautiful. Made in the USA. That's happening too. We have so many plants coming into Michigan and so many other states. We have car plants coming in, would have never come if I wasn't president, would have never come. We will become the world's premier pharmacy, drugstore, and medical manufacturer. That's already started. We're bringing it back. We will keep America out of foolish, stupid, ridiculous foreign wars. We will never hesitate to kill America's terrorist enemies. You know, when I took over, ISIS was all over the place. And I did something that I felt we should do. And we have now obliterated, we have now captured 100% of the ISIS caliphate. 100. And like our depleted military when I took over, like our empty shelves medically when I took over, like all of the things that when I took over, it was a mess. We have done a job. You had to see what ISIS was doing. They were getting bigger. I came in smaller. Sir, we've just taken 100%. We will launch a new age of American ambition in space, and the United United States will be the first nation to land on Mars. Good program. You saw the beautiful rocket 3 weeks ago go up. Beautiful. We will defend privacy, free thought, free speech, religious liberty, and the right to keep and bear arms. And when you see those lunatics all over the streets, it's damn nice to have arms. Damn nice. Interesting how all of a sudden people understand it, right? You couldn't sell it. Now people understand it. The right to keep and bear arms will protect your Second Amendment. Above all, we will never stop fighting for the sacred values that bind us together as one America. We will support, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States. We uphold the principle of equal justice under the law. We believe in the dignity of work and the sanctity of life. We believe that faith and family, not government and bureaucracy, are the true American way. We believe that children should be taught to love our country, honor our history, and always salute our great American flag. And we live by the words of our national motto, it will never change. In God we trust. We stand on the shoulders of American heroes who crossed the oceans, blazed the trails, settled the continent, tamed the wilderness, dug out the Panama Canal, laid down the railroads, revolutionized industries, won 2 world wars, defeated fascism and communism, and made America the single greatest nation in the history of the world, and we are making it greater and greater every single day. Proud citizens like you help build this country, and together we are taking back our country. We are returning the power to you, the American people. With your help, your devotion, and your drive, we are going to keep on working. We are going to keep on fighting. And we are going to keep on winning, winning, winning. We are one movement, one people, one family, and one glorious nation under God. America will soon be thriving like never before because, ladies and gentlemen of Oklahoma, the best is yet to come. Together we will make America wealthy again. We will make America strong again. We will make America proud again. We will make America safe again. And we will make America great again. Thank you. Thank you, Oklahoma. Thank you.
This afternoon, we want to talk about the ballot or the bullet. The ballot or the bullet explains itself. But before we get into it, since this is the year of the ballot or the bullet, I would like to clarify some things that refer to me personally concerning my own personal position. I'm still a Muslim. That is, my religion is still Islam. My religion is still Islam. I still credit Mr. Muhammad for what I know and what I am. He's the one who opened my eyes. And so today, though Islam is my religious philosophy, my political, economic, and social philosophy is black nationalism. You and I... As I say, if we bring up religion, we'll have differences, we'll have arguments, we'll never be able to get together. But if we keep our religion at home, keep our religion in the closet, keep our religion between ourselves and our God, but when we come out here, we have a fight that's common to all of us against the enemy who is common to all of us. Whether you are a Christian or a Muslim or a nationalist, we all have the same problem. They don't hang you because you're a Baptist, they hang you because you're black. They don't attack me because I'm a Muslim, they attack me because I'm black. They attack all of us for the same reason. All of us catch hell from the same enemy. We're all in the same bag, in the same boat. We suffer political oppression, economic exploitation, and social degradation. All of them from the same enemy. The government has failed us. You can't deny that. Anytime you live in the 20th century and you walking around here singing, "We shall overcome," the government has failed. This is part of what's wrong with you. You do too much singing. Today it's time to stop singing and start swinging. And I'm here to tell you, in case you don't know it, that you got a new generation of black people in this country who don't care anything whatsoever about odds. They don't want to hear you, old Uncle Tom, handkerchief heads talking about the odds. No. This is a new generation. If they're going to draft these young black men and send them over to Korea or South Vietnam to face 800 million Chinese, if you're not afraid of those odds, you shouldn't be afraid of these odds. And when I speak, I don't speak as a Democrat or a Republican, nor an American. I speak as a victim of America's so-called democracy. You and I have never seen democracy. All we've seen is hypocrisy. We don't see any American dream. We've experienced only the American nightmare. And the generation that's coming up now can see it and are not afraid to say it. If you go to jail, so what? If you're black, you were born in jail. If you black, you were born in jail. In the North as well as the South. Stop talking about the South. Long as you south of the Canadian border, you're South. This is why I say it's the ballot or the bullet. It's liberty or it's death. It's free for everybody or freedom for nobody. America today finds herself in a unique situation. Historically, revolutions are bloody. Oh, yes, they are. They haven't never had a bloodless revolution or a nonviolent revolution. That don't happen even in Hollywood. You don't have a revolution in which you love your enemy. And you don't have a revolution in which you're begging the system of exploitation to integrate you into it. Revolutions overturn systems. Revolutions destroy systems. A revolution is bloody. But America is in a unique position. She's the only country in history in a position actually to become involved in a bloodless revolution. All she's got to do is give the black man in this country everything that's doing. Everything. I hope that the white man can see this, because if you don't see it, you're finished. If you don't see it, you're going to become involved in some action in which you don't have a chance. We don't care anything about your atomic bomb. It's useless, because other countries have atomic bombs. When 2 or 3 different countries have atomic bombs, nobody can use it. So it means that the white man today is without a weapon. If you want some action, you got to come on down to earth. And there's more black people on earth than there are white people on earth. It'll be the ballot, or it'll be the bullet. It'll be liberty, or it'll be death. And if you're not ready to pay that price, don't use the word freedom in your vocabulary.
Over you, knowledge of yourself and life, so that the same glory and success attained by other men who understand themselves may be yours. Man in the full knowledge of himself is a superb and supreme creature of creation. When man becomes possessor of the knowledge of himself, he becomes master of his environment, the captain of his own ship, the director of his own destiny, the accomplisher of his own ends. Man should understand himself because man is full of knowledge, and this knowledge is a gift of nature. When Mother Nature created man, she deprived him of nothing. He was given the faculty of understanding all things around him. This faculty for understanding has not been taken away from him. None of his senses have been taken away from him. So there is no excuse for the black man in lacking the knowledge that man is used to beautify the world and produce all that he needs for his happiness and civilization. The world over, and whatever you see in it that is pleasing to man, contributing to man's comfort, to his needs and to his satisfaction, it is but the work of man. Man blessed with the knowledge of himself and the understanding of all things around him. If you are able to live with the knowledge of yourself and with the greater knowledge of nature, you must know what is good and what is not. You must know what is finite. You must know that which is material, physical, and otherwise is at your disposal to create or otherwise use. If we leave America and go over to the east to Japan, they will be telling their fellow citizens of Japan of the wonderful accomplishments of the Japanese people, proving that man is moving onward as time moves on. But you have hated yourselves as you have done in previous years. You have shown malice, prejudice, and hate to each other. And the result is that while other races have made progress, while India has made progress towards nationalism, while Ireland has made progress towards republicanism, while the whole world has made progress in man's accomplishments, you still stand fighting yourselves, dishonoring yourselves, showing no disposition toward that higher life so that you will be abundantly blessed. So reflect and think that you were created for some purpose other than exhibiting malice toward your neighbor or fellow men of your own race. What a pity it is that we cannot stand united without a written law. There is no written law compelling other races to stand together. They are brought together by the gentle touch of nature. The unwritten law of nature causes them to stand together on all occasions. So wheresoever you find them in the field, that one gentle touch of nature causes them to stand together, if need be, die together. But with the black man, you can preach to him from the pulpits. You lecture from the platforms, from the byways and the hedges. The spirit of cooperation, but he will not cooperate. You talk to him gently, you try talking harshly to him, he still will not cooperate. The result is that he falls prey to those who understand themselves and walk.
There are two old people are scared of white people. White people traumatize them so much. They've beaten them, they've harassed them, they've enslaved them. I don't understand why you are young and scared of white people. They've never beaten you. They are equal to you. You have been to school. You were born after 1994. Don't be scared of white people. Confront white people. Defeat white people. These old ones, they think of prison. They are scared to go back to prison. You have never been to prison. Yet you are scared of stories of prison. Let's go to prison. If it means prison, let it be. We're not going to be scared of prison fighting for what belongs to us. We're not going to be scared of death fighting for what belongs to us. This is our land. Shaka Zulu's land. Not Van Veek and Van Tonder's land. This land belongs to Sikukuni. This land belongs to our traditional leaders who fought with these bastards. And they thought they defeated our forefathers, and they will defeat us now. Let them come. We are ready for them. We are dead as we speak now, because there's nothing to live for. Why be scared of death? You go to a toilet in a pit toilet. You don't have a house. You don't have water. You don't have electricity. You stay in a shack. When it rains, your shack is raining. Yet you are scared to die. You are dead now. What is life in a shack? What is life without water? Because water is life. What is life without electricity? What is life without education? What is life without dignity? Because only those who are dead do not have dignity. Yet you are alive without a dignity. Why are you alive? You are equal as dead. Don't be scared, black child. You are dead already. Why be scared of death? Because this thing that you live now is not life. Why be scared? I never thought in my life I will be 38 years old. I thought this bastard would have killed me by now. This thing of mine is a bonus. That's why I don't care about these things. We are dead until our dignity is restored. What type of a human being are you without dignity? Women being raped, children being raped, old women being raped by their own children. What is life about that? What is life about dying of killer diseases like HIV and AIDS? Not because there are no ARVs. The ARVs are there. There is no proper food to eat the ARVs with. What is life about that? What is life about people dying of cancer because there are no machines in KZN hospitals? What is life about not having a proper health care, a completely collapsed public health care? When you go to a hospital, is equal as going to a mortuary. What is life about that? What is life about learning under a tree, learning in a mud school? Our children are equal as dead. Don't be scared. You only have one option, and that option is to break the chains of poverty. And you can't confront these chains without being brave and being prepared for anything. So when we leave here, go and remind black people that you are dead. We want to resurrect you. You are equal as dead. There's no life in Newcastle. There's no life anywhere else where you find black people who will bring life to them. What is life about? A job? Even in your own home, when you don't have a job, they don't listen to you. When there is a funeral and they're discussing the date, you are not even allowed to suggest a date because I'll say it. But now, wait, man. You don't have money. I'll say this. You can't even get married and have children and enjoy your proper family. I'll say this. What is life about that? Let's go and find the jobs. Where are the jobs? The jobs are on our land. Once we find our land, we'll find jobs and the dignity of black people. We're fighting for the respect of black people. Whether you are staying in a middle class place, or as long as you are black, they will never respect you because of other poverty-stricken black people. We're all the same. So when you leave on the 8th of May, you must take the people to the voting station and tell them you must vote for life, because black people are dead. That's why they shoot you like that. They just come into a university, you are marching for free education, they shoot and kill you because in you there is no life. They are not taking a life because that life is long gone. They've got no respect for you. They will never shoot white kids. Remember, during Feast Must Fall in Stellenbosch, our own fighters told white children to go and do the human chain in front of the march. And marching into the VC's office, the police wouldn't shoot because there were white kids in front. Because in white child, there is life. In a black child, there is no life. They just shoot it like that and get rid of you. Tell our people about that so many children died in the hands of this government. Tell them Marikana people died in the hands of these people. Not only these people, in the hands of the president of the ANC. Because in him, he doesn't see life in the eyes of black people. You must never be scared of them. Look at them and tell them right into their face, shoot and kill, for because I'm dead already. There's nothing left for me. Shoot and kill. There's nothing left for me. I've got myself to fight for the generations to come. If I die, someone else will pick up this spear and continue the fight. We will continue the fight. If we die, the generation after us will continue the fight until the dignity of black people is restored. Let's not be scared. Don't be scared, black child. And when you cry, you don't cry because you are scared. When you cry, you don't cry because you are scared that these people are going to kill you. You cry because you know that that which I was waiting for today has met me. The enemy is here. And I will confront the enemy. I will not retreat. Especially if the enemy is represented by a white man. You must never negotiate with whiteness. You must ask Marshall. We don't negotiate with whiteness. Even in parliament there, we don't negotiate with whiteness. Never negotiate with whiteness. Don't be scared, black child. Let the tears on your face demonstrate your resilience and commitment to fight on until the last black person receives liberation. In the continent, in the diaspora, everywhere else, black people are found. We are fighting for them here in South Africa so that we can install and restore confidence in them. Don't think about South Africa alone. We are fighting for black people everywhere. Because everywhere where black people are found, they are treated like dogs and lifeless bodies. That's why they can drag it on a tar road. That's why they can tie a black person behind a buggy and drag that person throughout the farm, because in them a black body is a lifeless body. I'm dead already. Why be scared? There's no life in me. I'm fighting for my life. I want my life to be restored. You have taken my soul. I'm soulless. I no longer have emotions. I do not care. I will fight for my land. We ought to fight for our land. We must fight for ourselves. No one is going to fight for us. We only have ourselves. No one, including all of them who say black people's lives matters, they do it